excited because today is the day when I get to show you the first project that I created with my January Clique kit. So the photograph that you saw at the beginning of the video, that photograph of the dress, that is my inspiration for this layout. Sorry for a little bit of background noise. We have dogs and kids here. So what I did was the title of this kit, the name of this kit is Rhapsody, and the line from Coco Vanilla's studio is called Bohemian Dreams. So what I did was I went on Pinterest and I typed in Bohemian fashion because I wanted to create a layout that really that went with the style of the kit. And so what I did when I found that was I found lots of texture. You know, what that style looks like. Lots of texture, lots of layers. And then as I was going through, I saw that dress that you saw at the beginning of the layout, and I went, oh, that would make a fabulous layout. So that's what we're going with. So I got this really busy floral paper. I cut 2 3-inch strips of it, and then I tore the strips to give it some texture. And now I'm adding some gold along the edges. This is my favorite gold ink. It's Brilliance Galaxy Gold ink. And I just use a Tim Holtz little dauber to get the edges. And so I decided that I wanted to go ahead and play with the idea of mixing some of the metals, because if you saw my unboxing video, I did say, you know, how we have in this kit like the copper vellum, and then we have some copper ribbon, but then we have silver sequins, and we have gold letters. So what I decided I wanted to do was I wanted to bring in all of those metals. I wanted to get little touches of all 3 of the metals that are in the kit. And that's another thing I noticed when I was looking through Pinterest at what that bohemian style is. So this is my photograph. It is a family photo of my brother and his wife and daughter. And then what I decided to do is I'm going to put these strips that I have created, and I'm going to place one at the top and one at the bottom. I also did kind of like an offset mat with my photo. So I put just a little bit of that floral vellum behind my photo because my photo is going to sit in that space. So we're going to have a really busy top and a really busy bottom, and then I want to create a cascade that goes down. So I didn't want my photo to be backed too heavily. So I'm going to go ahead and use some of this ribbon again because I wanted to add some texture. And so I'm going to put the velvet ribbon across the bottom, and I'm just using my Scotch tacky glue in the fine line bottle to go ahead and put across the bottom. And then I'm going to flip the layout over and do the top. And on the top I'm going to put that sparkly, sparkly coppery ribbon. And by doing this, so this is the first layout I created with my January Clique kit. And by doing this, I have limited my supplies. So by going to Pinterest, by picking out a definite theme, an inspiration piece, I could then go through the kit and just pull the items that fit with my theme. And that really helped with the deer in the headlights look when you start a kit and you have so many things. So that really helped my process to be able to have a definite place where I was going with the first kit and with the first layout. And then as I go through and work through the rest of the kit, those decisions become a little bit easier to kind of pick and choose with what I have. So now I have, oh, I flipped it. I'm sorry, the copper's at the bottom. Yes, the darker colors at the bottom, so the copper ribbon's at the bottom, and the pink velvet's at the top. So I just want to create just a really small cluster of embellishments to the right of my photo. And so what I did was I chose that floral piece from the Vicky Bouton frames and tags set, and one of the exclusive flares, and then some of one of the rhinestone hearts. And now I'm going to do some fussy cutting. So I'm going to cut around some of the florals on this vellum, and I'm going to fussy cut it out and place them at different spots around the layout. And I wasn't sure how much of the vellum I wanted to use or how little, so I'm going to kind of like, you'll see here how I'm just kind of cutting around them very messily and quickly. And then the pieces I decide to actually use, I'll go back through and kind of do them, or fussy cut around them a little bit closer. So I pulled all of the flowers out of all of the packs. And so these are just the flowers in the main kit, so I didn't pull anything from my Traveler's Notebook kit for this layout. I just used the main kit. And so I went through all of the die cuts and I pulled anything that was floral out. And so what I want to do is I want to cluster flowers along that top torn edge and that bottom torn edge. And then have them look like, just like that dress, like they're falling down into the bottom. And so what I did was I'm just going to go through everything and stick them down. Just tucking them in. I didn't want any gappy places. I want to leave some room. I want, the flowers to look like they're falling into the bottom part, but at the same time, I want to leave some room for my title. And to give you an idea of how, you can see how many flowers I have on this kit, on this layout right now, and just give you an idea, I still have enough flowers to do at least one more layout, maybe even two. So what I did here was I decided to cut some of these bigger floral ephemeras in half, and that allowed me to tuck them in just a little bit better. And then I'm also going to go ahead and fill in some of the gaps and fussy cut around some more of these floral pieces. So for these floral pieces, the ones that were not vellum, I'm going to go ahead, and here you can see how I'm cutting it in half, and that allows me not to have to use quite so many of those die cuts, and allows me to, you can really see them really well, and I don't have to use quite so many of them. So that's a great way to stretch these gorgeous florals throughout your pages. So I'm just going to continue here to attach the flowers down, and then once I have them kind of tacked a little bit underneath, I'm just putting a little bit on the floral pieces, just on the edges where they're going to tuck underneath. And now I decide that, so originally I thought I was going to put a big bold gold title above that, but I decided that it would make it too busy. So now I'm just going to add these little acrylic hearts. These came in the main kit as well. And then I wanted to do texture. So remember I said at the beginning when I was looking through bohemian fashion and bohemian style on Pinterest, there was lots of texture, lots of layers, lots of, really kind of cool. I was really enjoying them. Lots of bold colors, but also lots of layers and textures. So to kind of bring some of that into this layout some more, I already have the torn paper to help, the difference between the vellum and the die cuts, the acrylics and the gems. And so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a whole bunch, I'm going to pop up all of the floral die cuts that are cardstock. So not the vellum ones, because of course then you would see it, but the cardstock ones I'm going to pop up with a lot of pop dots. And now I'm going to go ahead and trim my page. So when I cut the cardstock for this layout, I didn't cut enough of the branding strip off. So I'm a little short then when I had the 12-inch pattern paper. And you can see that little like gappy place. You can really see it kind of down at the bottom. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish trimming that up so I have a true kind of 12 by 12 page, and everything ends where it's supposed to, and it doesn't look like crooked or wonky. And I was really impressed with myself because my trimmer cut through the pattern paper, 2 layers of pattern paper, and the ribbon. So it just needed a little bit at the top with the scissors. And so now I'm going to go ahead and continue with the pop dots and popping up all of the cardstock die cuts. So the last thing I'm going to do, now remember I said I wanted to make sure to include all the different metals that come in the kit. So I used the gold, and I have the yellowy gold, and I have the copper, and so now I want to bring in some of the silver, and I'm going to do that with the silver sequins that came in the kit. So I'm just going to spread them around a little bit. And there's also teeny tiny little purpley ones in the kit as well, and I'm going to use those too. And I'm just going to sprinkle them around to create that idea from the dress of the flowers falling down into the bottom. And that will complete this layout. Thank you so much for joining me today. Be sure to head over to the blog to see some more close-ups of my layout, and we will talk to you again soon. Bye!